A police dog refused to let a pilot board his own plane, causing delays and passenger outrage. But when security finally checked beneath the cockpit seat, what they discovered sent everyone running for their lives. Here's what happened. But before we dive into today's story, drop a comment below to let us know where in the world you're watching from. And if you love extraordinary police dog stories like this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Jack Thompson, 45, as Rex, his 5-year-old German Shepherd, went ballistic at Detroit Metro Airport that snowy December the 15th. The terminal buzzed with cranky travelers, their boots stomping slush across the tiles. But Rex, he locked onto Captain Daniel Pierce, a slick 30-something pilot striding toward Gate 12, his navy coat pristine, his smirk cocky. Rex's growl ripped through the chaos, low and guttural, then exploded into barks that turned heads. Jack yanked the leash. "Rex, easy." But that dog, nicknamed Furry Detective for a reason, lunged, planting himself like a wall. Pierce snapped, "Get that mud off me. I've got a red-eye to Dallas in 20 minutes. His voice dripped with that entitled pilot swagger, but Jack saw it. A twitch in Pierce's jaw, a bead of sweat despite the Michigan chill. 3 years with Rex taught Jack one thing. His partner didn't flip out for nothing. That time, Rex sniffed out a smuggler's cash-stuffed thermos. Spot on. Now, folks stared, whispering, annoyed, but Jack's pulse raced. Was this a hunch, or had Rex just caught a wolf in a pilot's uniform? "Sir, step aside for a check," Jack said, firm, ignoring Pierce's protests. The crowd groaned, but Jack trusted Rex's nose over any departure board. What was hiding under that coat? You won't believe what came next. What if the guy you'd bet your last dollar was clean turned out to be a ticking time bomb? That's the gut punch Jack Thompson felt as he hauled Captain Daniel Pierce into a stark, fluorescent-lit room off Detroit Metro's Terminal A, Rex's barks still echoing in his ears. The snow outside piled up, stranding travelers, but inside, the air crackled with tension. Pierce, all polished brass and pilot bravado, slammed his flight bag on the table, snarling, "This is bull. I've flown for Delta 12 years. Check my damn record." Jack's partner, TSA officer Sarah Klein, 38, rifled through it. Charts, a protein bar, a fancy pen, nothing screwy. But Rex? That furry detective wouldn't quit, pacing, growling, his eyes lasered on Pierce's coat like it held the devil himself. Jack's gut churned. He'd seen Rex nail a gun hidden in a diaper bag once, no hesitation. "Take off the coat, Captain," Sarah ordered, her Midwest twang steady. Pierce scoffed, tossing it over, but Jack caught it. A faint tremble in those hands, a flicker of panic in those cool blue eyes. Middle-aged travelers get it. You don't sweat in a Michigan winter unless you're hiding something big. Sarah patted it down, then froze. "Jack, feel this collar," she whispered. His fingers traced the stitching. Tight, off. Rex pawed the floor, insistent. "Get the scanner," Jack barked, heart pounding. Pierce's smirk faded fast. The tech rolled in and the screen lit up. A thin, sinister chip glowed inside the fabric. "Holy hell," Sarah gasped. A trigger, a tracker. Whatever it was, Rex had sniffed out a nightmare. What was Pierce planning mid-flight? Buckle up, folks. This ride's just starting. Jack Thompson's world flipped upside down the second that scanner pinged in Detroit Metro's back room. The tiny chip in Captain Daniel Pierce's coat glaring like a neon warning sign. Rex, that 5-year-old German Shepherd with a nose sharper than a Michigan ice storm, sat rigid, ears up, as if saying, "Told ya!" Pierce's face drained white, his pilot swagger crumbling. "I want my lawyer. He spat. But Jack saw the truth in those twitching fingers. Guilt, pure and simple. Sarah Klein, her hands steady despite the chaos, dialed up the feds. "We've got a live one," she muttered, her voice tight. Middle-aged folks like us know that look. Pierce wasn't just some hotshot flyboy anymore. He was a ghost from a wanted list. FBI agent Tom Rivera burst in, tablet blazing. "Daniel Pierce?" "Try Daniel Mason Pierce. Interpol's been hunting this bastard since 19, tied to the Red Dawn crew." Jack's stomach dropped. Red Dawn? Those psychos bombed a train in Ohio once, killed 30. Pierce lunged, wild-eyed, knocking a chair, but Rivera pinned him fast. "Suicide capsule," Sarah yelled, spotting him bite down. They pried his jaw open, yanked it out. Too late for him to play martyr. "He's singing soon," Rivera growled, cuffing him. Rex's tail flicked once. Mission done. But what was that chip for? A plane full of folks was still out there, and Jack knew this was no solo act. Picture this. You're 30,000 feet up sipping a Coke when the guy flying your plane decides it's doomsday. That nightmare hit Jack Thompson like a freight train as FBI agent Tom Rivera dragged Captain Daniel Mason Pierce, now a cuffed, spitting mess, out of Detroit Metro's back room. Rex, that furry detective German shepherd, had sniffed out a devil in a Delta uniform, and now the stakes were sky high. Pierce's chip was bad news, but what was it for? Jack's gut screamed plain, and Rivera's next words iced his blood. "Get to Gate 12. Flight 719 to Dallas is boarding." Snow crunched under boots as Jack, Sarah Klein, and a bomb squad tore across the tarmac, Rex leading like a four-legged missile. Middle-aged folks like us get it. Trust a dog over a suit any day. The Boeing 737 loomed, passengers grumbling as TSA yanked them off, kids crying, suitcases tumbling. "Under the co-pilot seat," Jack hollered. Rex bolting up the jetway, nose to the floor. The techs ripped the cushion, nothing. Then Rex pawed the frame, growling deep. "There," Sarah pointed, and a tech pried open a hidden panel. A sleek black box blinked back, low metal, silent, deadly. "Remote bomb," the tech shouted, sweat beating despite the Michigan freeze. Jack's heart thumped. 200 souls on that bird, oblivious. Rivera's radio crackled. Pierce was cracking, mumbling about Red Dawn's test run. A test? For what? Jack knelt by Rex, whispering, "Good boy," but his mind raced. One plane down, how many more were rigged? This wasn't over, not by a long shot. Pierce's crew was still out there, and the clock was ticking fast. What if the guy next door was plotting to blow up the world, and only your dog knew? Jack Thompson's head spun as the bomb squad disarmed that black box under Flight 719's co-pilot seat at Detroit Metro. Rex's tail wagging like he'd just saved Christmas. But Pierce's raspy confession, still echoing from the hospital bed, lit a fire under Jack. "Red Dawn's got more. Check the city." Middle-aged folks like us smelled trouble a mile off, and Jack trusted Rex's nose over any Fed's hunch. Rivera barked orders. "Lakeside Condos, Unit 9, now!" Snow swirled as Jack, Sarah Klein, and Rex piled into an SUV, tires screeching toward downtown. The high-rise loomed, all glass and secrets, and Rex bolted from the car, sniffing like a bloodhound on a deer trail. Upstairs, Unit 9's door splintered under a battering ram. Inside, a war room. Blueprints of JFK, LAX, O'Hare plastered the walls. Bomb sketches stacked like tax files. "Jackpot!" Sarah yelled, but Rex growled, pawing a closet. Jack yanked it open. More devices, sleek and sinister, enough to ground half the Midwest's fleet. Rivera's jaw dropped. This ain't a test, it's a damn invasion. Jack's chest tightened. Pierce was just the tip. Who else was in on it? Rex sat, eyes sharp, ready for more. One dog had cracked a terror empire, but the real fight, it was roaring toward them fast. Ever think one bark could rewrite history? Jack Thompson stood in Detroit Metro's briefing room, snow still melting off his boots, as the weight of Rex's heroics sank in. That German shepherd, all 5 years of grit and fur, had sniffed out Red Dawn's lair in Unit 9. Bombs, blueprints, a terror playbook to cripple America's skies. Middle-aged hearts like ours swelled when Rivera slapped the table. 2 more pilots nabbed in Boston and Seattle, thanks to this mutt. The room buzzed, suits from Homeland Security scribbling fast. Rex sat tall, freshly brushed, his K9 vest gleaming under the lights, oblivious to the 500 lives he'd saved. Jack's chest puffed. 3 years with this furry detective, and he'd never doubted those paws. "Thompson, Rex," the airport chief boomed. "You're training our next line of defense." A medal dangled, but Jack cared more about the pat on Rex's head. Outside, the Michigan wind howled. Planes roared back to life. Folks boarding with no clue how close they'd danced to disaster. Rivera whispered, "Red Dawn's down 20 operatives, global busts rolling." Jack grinned, but his A's narrowed. Some mastermind was still out there plotting. Rex's ears twitched, sensing it too. One dog had turned the chaos into triumph, but the war wasn't won. Jack knelt. "Best damn partner, huh?" Rex licked his hand, ready for the next hunt. This wasn't the end. It was a battle cry, loud and clear. The tale of Jack Thompson and Rex teaches us that trust and instinct can be life's greatest guides, especially as we age. For us older folks, it's a reminder to lean on the wisdom we've earned. Whether it's a gut feeling or a loyal companion who sees what we miss, Rex's unwavering nose mirrors the quiet strength we find in experience, proving that even in a world of noise and doubt, one steady voice can cut through. Jack's faith in his dog reflects the courage to stand firm, even when others scoff. A lesson for us to trust our own judgment honed by years. Life's storms, like that Michigan snow, test us, but they also reveal heroes in unexpected places. So, cherish the bonds that ground you. Listen to the whispers of intuition. Know that your impact, like Rex's, might just save the day.